Welcome to The Author Show, where we present new authors and books. From fiction to self-help and everything in between, you'll find it all here. To watch the TV version of our program, visit authorswebtv.com. That's authorswebtv.com. And now, let the show begin.
Hi, this is Linda Thompson, your host for The Author Show. Give me a murder mystery that is steeped in history, and I'm hooked. Today's feature, Paradox Forged in Blood, offers just that. Author Mary Frances Fisher has written a fascinating account of the murder of a local socialite whose unsolved case is resurrected some 40 years later. Wow, what's not to like? Let's learn more from the author about her story. Mary Frances, welcome to the Author Show.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Mary Frances, please share with us a quick overview of Paradox Forged in Blood.
Well, Paradox Forged in Blood is a historical murder mystery that's set in the 1930s, and it's an event that impacts the lives of many over the next 4 decades until the mystery is solved and secrets revealed.
What was your inspiration to write Paradox Forged in Blood?
That's a good question. A couple of years ago, I was reading a murder mystery, and it included a character who was writing a book. And I thought to myself, I can do that. Plus, I was dealing with the death of my mother, and incorporating her into this story was my way of coping with the loss of my best friend.
Mary Frances, how would you describe your writing style?
Well, the main character, Ellen O'Malley, was my mother. So my greatest inspiration has been the O'Malley family. And they lived through the Depression and World War II. They faced daily struggles together as a family, and that's something that resonates in my own life.
Are your characters based on real people, or are some of them imaginary?
All the O'Malleys are based on real characters. Some of the others have been taken from people that I know, but perhaps the identities have been changed a little bit.
Will any of your characters return to us in a sequel or a series?
Yes, they will.
What are you working on now?
Currently, I'm working on a companion novel that's called Growing Up O'Malley.
Paradox Forged in Blood is listed as historical fiction. How much is historical and how much is fiction?
Historical is the discrimination of the Irish and the Germans in the early 1900s. Millionaire's Row, which was on Euclid Avenue. It was a series of homes owned by the rich and famous like John D. Rockefeller, Mr. Sherman, Mr. Prescott. The Great Depression, obviously, is a true event. Things from World War II are all based on fact. Hitler Youth, and something that not a lot of people know about, the German-American Bund.
You say that the past, when you talk about the Rockefellers and so on, that is definitely historical, but fast forward the 40 years to resurrect the case. Is that also historical? Did that happen?
Events in the 1980s when we fast forward into the resurrection of the investigation. I kept that historically accurate to events at that time. For example, the police investigation, what was available to them and what wasn't. How they would proceed with a reinvestigation of a cold case. That's based on fact.
How much research did you do while writing Paradox Forged in Blood?
A lot of my research was actually based on stories from my own family history. For example, my father and my mother and her sisters, they all lived through the Depression. They lived through the times that are referenced in the book. And so I was able to give a personal touch and personal knowledge of a lot of the historical events from people who actually went through them.
When you were writing your book, did you have any particular type of reader in mind?
Yes, actually. Those who are teens to mid-30s, it allows them exposure to a life before today's fast-paced technology. And the middle-aged elderly, it reminds them of days gone by.
Your book cover captured my attention. Is this print of an actual old home in Cleveland?
Yes, it is. And it was taken in the mid-1800s, and it was one of the homes on Millionaire's Row. And just from that picture alone, you can see how affluent Millionaire's Row was. It was on Euclid, Ohio, which is today the center of downtown Cleveland. The homes they were mansions, but they were beyond just regular mansions as you would think of them. They were considered to be a rival of the most beautiful streets in Paris at the time.
And are any of these beautiful old homes still standing?
Some of them are still there, but a lot of them have been taken over by just large corporations, which is very sad.
Are any of them open for tours or anything like that?
There are a few, yes.
How did you arrive at the title for your book?
Well, if you look at the cover of the book, that's probably the first paradox, because you see a picture of a home in the mid-1800s, and if you look above what appear to be clouds, it's actually a European map that's superimposed with Nazi-occupied countries. So if you look at that, that's paradox number one. You say, well, Nazi ideology wasn't around in the 1800s, so how does this come together? That's the first paradox. And that's what set the stage for part of the title of the book. Forged in Blood has to do with events that occur over the next 4 decades involving the murders, the investigation, and then events in World War II and how everything ties together for the different families.
If you could compare Paradox Forged in Blood with any other, what would that other book be?
That's a good question. It's pretty unique, and it's based on a lot of personal family events, so I don't know if there's a comparison to other books.
What makes Paradox Forged in Blood stand out in a crowd?
For one thing, the cover. The cover says it all. The cover is, the blood splatter. I kind of like that. That promises the writer an interesting read. But it also teaches people about a time that is long gone, and it brings to life values and family life and unity that is in many ways missing in today's society.
Did you learn a lot while you were researching about that past time?
Oh, absolutely. But I would say the time frame of the 30s and 40s, I've always been passionate about that. I've read books, I've done personal research just for my own interest, and I've watched many documentaries, love the History Channel.
What is the primary message in your book that you would like your readers to remember?
The primary message I would like readers to remember is that truth should be pursued at all costs, even if events in your life deter us from that goal, because the truth carries tremendous power, and only we can decide how it will impact our lives.
Where can we learn more about you, about your other works, and where can we purchase Paradox Forged in Blood?
My book is available on all online retailers, and readers can find out more about me at my website, MaryFrancisFisher.com, and Francis is with an E.
Mary Francis, thank you for taking time to chat with us today, and thank you for sharing Paradox Forged in Blood with us. I can't wait to start reading. I'm sure your story has generated a lot of interest amongst our listeners, and I do hope that when you release your next book that you will come back to chat with us again.
Oh, I would love to. It's been a delightful experience.
Paradox Forged in Blood is one of those books that the reader may not easily forget. The wealthy town residents, the murder itself, and the return to Nazi Germany. What's not to like? And is there anything better than trying to solve a cold case? The added bonus is that this work is of historical fiction, and that makes it even more intriguing. I'm eager to begin reading Paradox Forged in Blood, and I hope you are too. Please visit theauthorshow.com to listen to other featured authors. These interviews are available to book buyers worldwide on demand every day, 24/7. If you have written a book and would like to be a guest on the show, visit theauthorshow.com, complete the interview request form, and we will contact you shortly thereafter. The Author Show is a great way to market your book by getting in front of your target audience with a high-quality interview that will make a real impact. Join us again for another great book and another exciting author on The Author Show.
Thanks for listening to The Author Show. To contact us, call toll-free 1-877-955-8800. That's 877-55-8800. Or visit theauthorshow.com, theauthorshow.com. Tune in next time to another great author on The Author Show.